Okay, that was too many claps.
Oh.
Just the one clap for the sound. Oh, sorry, I was moving my chair one more time. One more time. One more time.
Hey, this is supposed to be unscripted.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us. Welcome to Sobre Mesa. We're so happy you guys are here. We're just cooking some delicious food and we're planning to nourish our mind, body, and soul by connecting with one another and spending some time eating delicious food. Our first dish here is the roasted eggplant salad with a mixture of some olive oil, parsley, dill, and some basil. We're also gonna add in some pistachios and some pickled red pepper. So the biggest thing here is that with the eggplants, if you guys can see and if you've ever had an eggplant, it's pretty meaty, so you feel like you're getting in, it's not like a veggie that you feel like, oh my god, I still need to eat something else. It's pretty meaty, so you feel like it's giving you some substance. The other big thing with this dish is that we have a lot of healthy fats, and healthy fats that have not been modified. We didn't use heat with these fats. So the structure of the fat is still intact, which is really good for our health. Our second plate is a celery root dish, and we created a little sauce. So the sauce is chicken stock. It has lemon juice, turmeric, and sweet paprika. Maybe you're trying to like not eat so much like starchy food or sweet potato. The celery root is really good because it's not as starchy. It could be a really nice replacement. And on the side, I'm always a fan of having some type of green, so we have some chopped up parsley that we're gonna put on top of the celery root. Our last dish is a cucumber salad with sumac onions. So what I'm doing right now is I'm adding about a tablespoon of parsley oil, which is just parsley, some olive oil, and ginger. And then we're also gonna add in these sumac onions, which are so easy to make. You basically just mix in some sumac, you have your red onions, and you add some lemon juice, and they add a nice flavor. And the cucumbers, I actually added some salt and let the water drain out of the cucumbers for about 20 minutes, which just lets your cucumbers be a little bit more crunchy. And the last thing that we're gonna add are some sesame seeds on top.
Yeah, you're gonna send me the recipe for sure.
For sure.
Vanessa, thank you so much for preparing this.
Of course, you're welcome.
It looks really, really good. And I was just thinking the other day, I don't know, reflecting on my life and what I was like in high school, and I thought, oh, have I really changed that much? Like, what was my life like in high school? And I'm curious, like, who were you guys in high school? Do you guys still feel like you're the same person?
So I don't feel like the same person at all, but there's things that like don't change. I think even from like elementary school or like before. But in high school, I was actually voted most shy.
Fun.
Yeah.
Who votes for these people?
I don't know.
We're cool enough for people to vote
I was
for
cool
you.
enough. I guess I wasn't that shy if you knew who I was.
Exactly.
You're like, hey, there's that shy girl over there.
Vote for her.
That's so funny. Did you guys have that? You had voting systems?
I don't remember.
Pretty sure we did.
To be honest. Yeah,
No.
pretty sure.
No.
We went to the same high school, so yeah, you
No.
did.
Oh, so you
I wasn't cool enough though to make that.
Oh.
didn't get voted
The
anything?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's sad. That is sad.
Thanks for reminding me.
yeah. Triggered. Do you still feel shy now?
No.
Okay.
Not
so
as much as like back then.
what changed, or how do you think you got out of that?
I think I just got more comfortable because you know in high school like you're scared of being judged, and I feel like you're trying to figure out who you are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what you like, because things are cool in high school, and sometimes you're like, all right, I'm gonna do that because it's cool, but not because it's what you actually like.
Fair
So maybe
enough.
like I was going through that. I don't know.
So what was the cool thing to do in high school? What was that?
I don't know.
Ditch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, now we know what you were doing.
I ditched a lot in junior year.
Yeah.
Really?
Just an insane amount of times.
Why?
What did you do instead?
Why?
I would just go with my
Mall or
buddies,
what?
and yeah, I mean sometimes we would go to the mall, sometimes we would go to my friend's house, and just do stupid things. I don't even want to say, but you know, yeah, I don't know. It was just looking back at it. I'm like, wow, can't believe I did that so many times.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you didn't get in trouble
Yeah.
like with school or anything?
No, not at all.
How did you not get caught?
I don't know. they didn't really care that much, I guess. In school, you know.
No way.
Yeah.
Was this a public high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I
Who
wonder
went to
if-
public school? Raise your hand. Private school?
Private
I
school.
did private.
We
Yeah.
had, I don't know if you guys had this. We had a gate.
Yeah, you couldn't get out. There was gate. You were
Yeah.
locked in.
We were locked in. We had a security guard at every single entrance. So
Wow.
even if a dad or a parent was coming to bring their kid lunch because they forgot, the dad had to like sign in. They had to double check that he was
Yeah.
referenced and he was okay to
Wow.
come in. Yeah, it was
It
crazy.
was like a jail.
A little bit.
That's funny. The way that people would ditch at my high school was, I guess you would get dropped off, right? I would get dropped off a little bit earlier than usual, and since the gates are still open, you would walk in and just walk across the school to the other side and just walk out,
Hey.
and then just leave.
So
Wow.
crazy to think about like high school nowadays. Like if I was in high school now, my God, I don't even know what I would be doing. Especially during
I
like
think it's a
COVID.
different world now.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, you have social media.
Mm.
I don't know how big social media was for you. I think it was
Like MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace
We had
was in.
MySpace, yeah.
MySpace, but I don't remember it being that huge. People were just starting to text. I remember it was like 10,
Oh,
10
dang.
cents per text.
Yeah, yeah.
10 cents.
I would buy a card.
If you didn't have a plan.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought they had
Yeah.
plans. Okay.
no,
If you didn't have a plan, like I didn't have a plan, I would buy this card and fill up my phone with minutes.
Oh wow.
So that's how I would do it.
Wow. But
So,
yeah, it's different.
but in
now.
high school, then you guys were like okay to talk on the phone with people, or was that awkward? You preferred to text?
I used to talk on the phone a lot.
She did talk on the phone.
So the
Yeah.
shy girl is on the phone.
Yeah,
I remember that. Wow, that's
yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
that's funny.
Did you only have one phone? So like she was using up the phone?
She was
or-
using the house phone, right? Yeah, and then sometimes we wanted.
You
to
would
use
pick it up?
We didn't want to use it, but it was
She's
weird.
on the phone again.
Yeah, she's just on the phone a lot.
Or like with
Wow.
the internet,
Oh yeah.
connecting to the
Yeah,
internet,
I
but if
think-
somebody was on the phone,
Yeah.
I think
I
that was
hated
the
that.
issue. Yeah.
I hated
Yeah.
that.
isn't it crazy?
It is like it just thinking back and what's changed now, and I just wonder how much more influenced I would be if I had social media back then.
Right.
Because like you were just saying, you're trying to you're trying to figure out like who you are, and you're like what's cool, what's the cool thing to do, and you're seeing
Yeah.
all these influencers online.
For sure.
I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, I think it's probably harder
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know about you guys if you guys were bullied like in school or whatever, but I can imagine like if you were bullied, at least you went home and you were like away from that bully. But I feel with social media, that doesn't stop. Like you could be on it forever. So even if you go home, you could be looking at things or people
Yeah.
could be saying things about you and you're reading them.
True.
That's
So I think
horrible.
it's harder.
Yeah. So what? Okay, so you were the shy girl. Like, who were you guys in high school? Like, clearly you were ditching.
He was absent.
Yeah, he was
You were
absent.
the cool kid,
That's
huh?
why they couldn't vote for him because
was
he wasn't
absent.
there.
They didn't know I went to that school.
What about Mike?
Yeah, who are you, Mike?
I was shy. I was very shy. Yeah. Yeah, it was an all guys school. So, it was just, I didn't know anybody. I was the only one from my elementary school, junior high, to go to that high school. Other than my brother was there.
Yeah.
But 2 years older, so you don't really hang out. You know? So, yeah, I just didn't talk to a lot of people. I think a lot of people would think I was like conceited, or that's what they would tell me. They're like, we thought you were like cocky or conceited because you
really?
wouldn't talk to us. But I was just shy.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting because I've never heard that. I've never heard anybody say that to a guy who was shy. I've always heard it only for girls. Like if you were shy, they thought
That's
you were
true, that's
conceited.
true.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting that they have, that idea about you.
That was freshman year.
Oh, okay.
Then I was playing soccer. So you had your soccer team, and that was the people that I would talk to. And then from there, yeah, through the years I think junior year I was already like, more outgoing and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first year was pretty, just to my kind of quiet, just to myself. And then over time you just begin to open up and different experiences and but yeah.
It's so interesting how you can just flip from one thing to the other. Because I know, like, people who were either really popular or jocks or something in high school. Like now they're just kind of, I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but they don't have that same energy.
They're not the popular people?
Yeah, I don't know, they lost their mojo or whatever, like I don't know.
Well, I've heard make friends with the nerds because they're going to be the ones hiring you later on.
You heard it here first.
So
I always felt like in high school I was just a floater. So I didn't have a particular table that I would sit at, and I just wanted to be at everyone's table. But I also wasn't the most outgoing person, though. I was still kind of shy myself, but I still wanted to be involved in every single person's table because I thought, oh, I have a friend over there, friend over there.
Right.
I played sports, so some of the sports girls were over there.
There. Like some people like want to go back to high school, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were not the highlight years of my life. You know how they say, you know, like there's a point in your life where you peak. At least that's what I've heard people say before. I feel like I definitely wasn't peaking in high school. Like I still needed a long way to go.
I hit rock bottom in high school. I'm just messing with you.
where were you during these times when Richard needed help?
She's told me, and my mom have told me that they thought I wasn't going to graduate high school. Which is kind of crazy to me. Because at the time I was like, I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
No, not high school. We didn't think you were going to go to college.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Because he was absent from school.
Gosh,
But
well, thank you, Richard, for not ditching our dinner here.
yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
I don't know. My mom gave me a lot of liberty as a
Yeah.
teenager.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like looking back at it, I'm like, wow, it's crazy how much she let me just kind of do what I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
wow.
even be super open with her, like, oh, I'm just gonna ditch today. She would be like,
Really?
okay.
No way.
Like she would just rather know that I wasn't gonna go to school.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but that gave me the opportunity to really, I don't know, just not do stupid things. That sounds very ironic, but just because I had the freedom to choose,
Yeah.
I just chose not to do certain things that
Wow.
my friends were doing, but I didn't do them just because I don't know, I
Interesting.
knew they were wrong.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me. And looking back at it, I feel like all that liberty really helped me. Because when I got to college, people were doing even stupider things, and I didn't feel the need to do it because I
Yeah.
was like, I was able to do that in high school, and I chose not to. Right? Versus them, they were just not allowed to.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's what caused them to just do all these stupid things.
I can
sure.
see that. Do you think that's because you were the baby of the family or because you're a boy?
I don't know. Maybe both.
Do you guys feel like that's a prominent thing still in Latino culture where
For sure.
guys still can
Yeah,
do
I think
whatever?
so.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about whatever, but they're less probably. The rules are different. The rules are different.
Okay. So what boundaries did you have then?
See, for us, it was very strict.
Oh, really?
For us, yeah, the guys too. So by the time I got to my youngest sister, it wasn't as strict as us. So I think
wow.
it's the youngest,
Okay.
whether boy or girl,
Yeah.
it could still, even though they were strict, it wasn't as strict. But you mentioned that freedom was a good thing for you, because then when you got to college, but not everybody who has all that much freedom takes it that way. Some people do
True.
end up
Yeah.
doing those stupid things. So it's like, and we've all done stupid things. It's not that, we're better than anybody, but
No.
why do you think that you didn't fall into, let's say, those having all the freedom? Because I've heard some people that have a lot of freedom and they go, it doesn't go all that great.
Wow.
Sure.
Or people that they're extremely strict on them to the point where they snap. Like it's too much. So I wonder if it's a personality thing instead.
I think it's more so that I had really good role models like Vanessa here. Because
So
like
nice.
I knew what was right and wrong, based on what they would tell me, and I was able to choose. Like, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that because I know it's
Oh, wow.
wrong. Versus other people, they just don't know.
Right.
So yeah, it's I guess I was just lucky. It's an interesting combination.
Did you mind, Vanessa, that you had more restrictions, I guess? Or did you feel like, oh, even if I had freedom, I'd still be my shy self?
I was too shy to like do anything, even if I had freedom. No, I mean at the time, he's 6 years younger, so I didn't even know that we can have freedoms. So no, it was just the way that it was. Like we only have our little small family, so it's not like I had cousins who were free or
Oh, okay.
I saw other people. It's just like, oh, this is the way that we are, or this is the way that things are. So I didn't mind it. I mean, you couldn't do anything about it. You're little, and
Oh, you minded all right. I remember.
I mean, I would be upset, I guess,
Oh, the truth comes out.
but what can I do? You know?
I feel like I was a little bit more of a rebel in high school. Like, even though I was still a little bit more calm and laid back and kind of shy,
Yeah.
I didn't like that my mom or my dad would say, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that. I would always push back and be like, why can't I do that? Like, I want to go see my friends. Or, like, their whole thing was online. When AOL first came out and we were doing AIM, and we had all these chats with all these different people. A lot of the people that I would chat with, they were on kind of late, like maybe 10, even going into 11 p.m. And I was like, I want to be part of the cool kids, so I want to be online chatting with these people. And my mom was like, we are going to cut off the internet, like at 9 p.m. you are in bed, like I don't want you talking to these people. Because she didn't know much about the internet, so she thought I was like in some predatory group or something. So she's like, I don't want you to get stolen, or like whatever she thought, I don't know. But I would sneak into that room anyway. So we had an office, and that's where the computer was. And so they'd all go to bed, and I'd wait until like everyone, like I can hear snoring. I'm like, oh, for sure they're out. So then about midnight or so, I would get up and go to that room, keep all the lights off, and just be on the computer talking to whoever was on. But I'm just thinking, like, if you guys were a parent now and you had teenage kids, like, you don't have a separate room with a computer. They have their own laptops, their own phones.
Right.
They got the phone.
Yeah.
The phone is a computer.
I don't think I would give my kid a phone.
Ever?
Nowadays, like,
Wow.
I would just, I'm pretty sure by the time I have kids, there'll be like a tracker. Could I shoot with a tracker?
Oh, and the kid.
Oh, okay, so you're going to monitor them.
Oh.
She's going to chip them.
Jesus. I'm probably already chipped. It is tough though. Like I've heard some people say, like even they say that people in Silicon Valley that invent these technologies, they don't give them to their kid till they're, I think 13
Oh, sure.
or 7 or 13 or something. Because it affects the way your brain is still developing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true.
I mean, it even shapes our behavior as adults. So imagine kids, you know.
Well, Rich, were you born in the 90s?
96, yeah.
Okay. Because I just think like the 90s were the last group of folks who were still half without the internet. So we grew up without having technology, and it came into our lives as we were, teenagers or junior high. Whereas now it's just like people you're born into this world, and here's a phone.
We'll see. We don't know what the long-term effects of that are.
I know, it's crazy.
We're actually experimenting. Essentially. You know?
Yeah, because I know that like the younger generations, they meet people online and they're happy to do that, whereas I feel more comfortable if I'm sitting at a table with a bunch of people I don't know and I'm meeting them face to face, because I'm like, I can trust you somehow. But I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe it's because that's how I grew up.
I think so. I think it's all your that's what you grew up with. For them, they grew up with this, so it's a lot easier for them.
Yeah.
But the human interaction is, I think, essential. Like we were talking about the blue zones, right? Like, wanting the people who are centurions, they make it to 100 years old. Part of it is good diet, good food, exercise, and then social interaction. They have communities. They get together, play dominoes, or like have coffee together, talk. So like, does it still exist if it's all online, or do you need like a physical? And I don't know. We don't know. I don't know if we know the answer. But
well, if I can say one thing from what I've learned from technology is that I think it depends on the type of technology, because in a situation like this, we are vibing off of each other's energy here. On certain platforms like Instagram or even YouTube, it's only a one-way communication. So yeah, you can comment, but you're not really getting anything from the other people. So I think that's the piece that's missing. But I don't know if there's other platforms that are trying to come in to do something different where you can have that interaction. I don't know.
Well, what about, have you guys been on Clubhouse? Is that more interactive?
a little bit.
It's a little bit more interactive. Probably fosters a little bit more of a sense of community, but I don't know. In my personal opinion, I still think that there's that piece. There's that missing piece. Like, there's nothing that can ever take away from this right here. Like, being able to be with people and just, I don't know, you laugh and you just get somebody's energy. It's just different. Yeah.
That's the thing. So, like, if the new generation grows up with a phone and doesn't have the ability or hasn't developed the skill of being able to just talk to people, you know, are they missing out on a certain part of life? You know, it's, I don't know. We have to to make sure that it's continues that skill. Let's say it's kind of like we've lost the art of being able to, well, some, you know, in a city, right? We're in a big city, like planning your own food or your own veggies, you know, making sure taking care of them, and then picking them and then using them to make food. Like we've lost that art, let's say, in a big city. So we're missing a little piece of what the way it used to be, you know? So like all of those things are important. Or even like you know, back in the day they used to hunt, right? I mean, that's a lost art. So
true. Also, this eggplant is the best eggplant I've ever had. If anybody is making this at home, I mean, you're gonna love it. It's so good.
I mean, where did you guys see yourself, let's say, out of high school? Did you guys have like plans to be somewhere by a certain age or doing a certain job, or you guys remember?
I didn't really have a plan, to be honest.
No?
I still don't have a plan, actually.
Hey, man.
Throw those plans out the window. We need them.
That's maybe best, man.
But yeah, it's hard to say. I feel like I feel like it's just important to always keep growing, you know, no matter what. Just keep growing, keep learning.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's what you kind of have to do.
Yeah. I think for me, it was after high school, it was going to college. Like that was the thing that, you know, parents immigrated here, and that's why we're here. But I realized when I was in college, like I did bachelor's and master's, and I was in college way too long. But I didn't really have a plan after. It was like, okay, you get a job. But I remember like getting out of college and feeling like, what do I do? Like, because I didn't really think about what am I going to do after college. It was just like, get into college, graduate, and that's it. So it was kind of like interesting going through that struggle after.
I feel like, I don't know if it was just media that I consumed or just... Someone is in a rush to get somewhere. I don't know if it was the media or maybe it was just my own family, but I was constantly bombarded with this message that I was going to go to college, get my degree, I had to get married, have kids, get my house, and that's kind of what it was going to be. That was the whole thing. And so that was literally what I was striving for. I was like, okay, great, I graduated from high school, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to meet my soulmate, I'm going to, you know, get this great job after, I'm going to be making some great money, I'm going to be in this great house.
You had it all planned out.
Yeah, in my head, I was just like, this is exactly how it's going to happen. But I think the danger of that message for other people as well, because I've heard other people tell me that they've had similar stories of thinking that way, was that, you know, I had this weird crisis when I was like 24, because by 24 I was like, I am way past, like, I'm out of college already. I have a job, but it's not like a professional that you're supposed to be, this white collar job. And I just felt so lost in life because I thought that my plan was, you know, what if this was the plan and this is what the message was, and it wasn't going that way, what am I supposed to do? And I felt completely lost. And then I started having this mindset, I don't know when it changed, but very much like you, Richard, I just started thinking, you know what, it's just about growing and learning and, you know, just taking life the way it goes. And, you know, you don't have to have the same life that everybody else does, you know, whatever works for you. I don't know when that changed exactly, but it was a weird transition, I think.
Do you think it was maybe when you, like, left to study abroad, maybe? Like, you saw different cultures, or...
Maybe. Yeah, it could have been that, just opening up my eyes to a different lifestyle, probably. Because I had traveled before with my family. We had been to Mexico or some other places. We went to Costa Rica. And my mindset didn't change then. So I don't know if it was because I went on my own and I finally was like, oh, like, I could do whatever I want. It was that freedom. Maybe it was that freedom. I had that freedom. Nobody to tell me, like, what I could and couldn't do. I had the foundation, kind of like you, where I said, okay, this is what I know to be right and wrong, but I can do whatever. I don't have parents or anybody telling me, like, oh, you know, that's bad, or don't get into that. And I think it was maybe that. Maybe that's what changed.
Interesting. Yeah, I think travel is very, very, like, it changes you, I think, if you can do it at a younger age or at any age. But yeah, I would say, like, if there's one thing I would say recommend to a high schooler, or I've even heard ideas of like it should be a boot camp. Like as soon as you graduate, you need to at least travel a little bit, see how it is outside of California, let's say. You know, the United States is so big, but let's say California. We have it really good here. You know, I mean, there are obviously people that are not in the best, but when you go to other countries and it's like, you know, they don't have some of the basic things or the perspective, you come back like, wow. Like when you went to Jamaica, right? I mean,
yeah, I was just going to talk about that, right? It was such a life-changing experience because you see how other people live in a country that's not doing well, you know, at all. And it just opens up your mind of just being so grateful for what you do have in this country versus what other people experience. You know, it's pretty life-changing because I came back to the U.S. just hungrier, just because I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, but just seeing how unfortunate it is for other people to live and just the lack of opportunities that they have, right? It kind of just wakes you up and to be, one, more thankful, and two, to just take advantage of the opportunities. It is really life-changing for sure.
I mean, I feel like this was a great combo for today's episode. It's really, really exciting. I personally love dinner parties. I love, you know, eating good food, meeting new people, and just having great conversations. If you at home are watching this, we hope you enjoyed, and we hope we have inspired you to do the same. And let us know in the comments, what should we talk about next? Should it be travel, or do you have something else that you'd rather see us talk about? Until then, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, salud.
Thank you, Richard, for joining us.
Thanks for coming.